Hey, hola, namaste, bonjour. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck back with you again. And you can see, got my cooking hat on. Only means one thing. You know what it means. We're doing some cooking tonight. So, what do we make in Lost Canuck? Well, it's something a little different. I was over at Hagberg Meats over in Lake Elmo. And a special shout out to those guys. They are amazing. Thank you, Billy, for making the suggestion. So what we have here, it's some people call it a Miami roll. And what it is it's the flat of a brisket wrapped up with string and rolled up, okay? That's all it is, brisket flat. So a lot of times butchers have, the briskets now, the flats are getting really thin. And, butchers just usually grind that into, hamburger meat or whatever. Well, if you roll them, you can still cook them like a brisket, okay? And look kind of like a point. So I requested one. Traditionally, he does it with the, you can see, the fat side out, okay? And I didn't know if that was going to make a great bark. And so I requested fat side rolled in. So Billy said, hey, why don't I make both? You buy the one, I'll give you the other one, and you smoke them, and let's figure out which one tastes better and looks better and is overall better. So we're going to battle these two Miami rolls or brisket rolls. Okay, so let's get going on it. And just for all the new viewers out there, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button and the little bell to get notified. The little bell is important. And for all my returning viewers, we're going to make these on my Lone Star Grillz 42-inch pellet smoker. It's awesome. That's the best smoker I got. So let's get making these. We're going to take these brisket rolls and turn them into these. Stay tuned. And for my Hispanic viewers, a mis amigos que hablan español, los subtitles debajo. And for my Hindi friends, Nietzsche subtitles. All right, so let's roll that intro. So let's get these Miami rolls, or brisket rolls, depending on what part of the country you live in, all seasoned up, and we're going to leave it in the fridge overnight. I'm going to put these on the smoker in the morning. They're about 4 pounds a piece. So with resting and everything else time, I'm going to guess 9 hours total, maybe 10 at the most. Famous last words from the Lost Canuck, because I've been very wrong before. I don't even have to trim these things. Again, thanks, Billy. He did a very nice job. So let's pat these off, get all the surface liquid off, so we can get the dry rub on, and we'll let them dry brine in the fridge overnight. So that's a nice one. Did a nice job. Okay, and then we'll pat this one off, get all the surface moisture, as you can see, coming off here. And I like to prep on my Drip Easy cutting board. Okay, so again, we're going to put some binder. Now look, all you guys out there that say, don't use binder, I hate it. Well, don't use binder. Just put your rub on, put it on, be happy, and go on with the smoking. I like binder. I think it helps. That's my personal opinion. I love this W sauce by Baron Burton. It goes pretty much with anything, okay? So let's put a little bit of this W sauce on. Get it rubbed on. Just, you don't need to go too crazy. It's pretty thin too. So put it on that side, get the end. Put a little more on there. There we go. What? You're calling me a little moron? What do you mean? Anyways, I attempt at humor sometimes. It's not good. And I got some down in here too, I think. A little more in there. There we go. Calling myself a little moron. Alright. Let's get some binder on everything. Okay, so we got all the ends and insides and everything else done. So let's get the rub on. I'm going to use a first layer of this SuckleBusters 1836 beef rub. Really good. Basically it's salt and pepper with a couple other goodies in there, garlic. And then I'm going to put a topping layer of this Tailgater's Party Rub. It's pretty good. I like this stuff too. So they're both going to have the same. Okay, so let's get the 1836 on here. Now I'm going to probably cough because this stuff, it's got lots of pepper in it. Just turn it a bit. Just get it all around first. This stuff really helps you build a nice bark. And again, this thing's a little over 4 pounds, so you don't have to worry about how much you put on it. Okay, it's got the. What I like to do is I like to put some down on the cutting board, and we'll just put a little bit more on there because where my gloves hit it. Okay, once you get it all around, we'll do the ends. Steal from your brother. All right, so I'll put a little bit on where I got glove marks on it. I almost forgot the top layer. This is the part where my videographer doesn't like, because this one makes her cough. Put a little bit of this Tailgater's Party Rub. This stuff's good. I might cough now too. All right, one of my lucky neighbors will get the one that the runner-up. Not even going to do the ends because I got the SuckleBusters there. Okay, so that was the Tailgater's Party Rub. That's the 1836. Put the sides up. We're going to throw this in the fridge. We've got the cutting board, or we got the roast in the cutting board. Sides are up. We're going to throw this in the fridge overnight, and I'll see you down at the pit in the morning. Now, one last thing. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram. Check out my social media on Instagram. I think I've got 200 followers now. Thank you very much. I'm always looking for more. So, that's the QR code. All right, see you down at the pit. Lost Canuck out. Hey, Lost Canuck here. Just like I promised, we're back down at the pit. It's the next day. And got my Lone Star Grillz 42-inch pellet smoker. She's all fired up. It's smoking. Got some pellets in the hopper. Got it set at 2 1/4, 225 degrees Fahrenheit. And got my drip pan already put in there. And we're going to put these roasts on. So let's get these roasts ready. Put on. Oh, they sweated out nicely overnight. That's the fat side out, and that's the fat side in. We're going to do a little test here. Okay, I'm going to cook up on the top rack, and it's going to be about 9 hours approximately after we're all done. It's 9 a.m. right now. Let's open this thing up, get everything on the pellet smoker, and we're going to put them on the top to the left slightly. Okay, so the smoke flow goes across this way and back down. So you want to put them axially with the smoke. Okay, so there's the fat out. And here's the fat in. All right, so it's going to be a fair comparison. And Billy, Hagberg Country Market, if you're watching, it's going to be a fair comparison. I'm just going to put a couple of wireless probes in there so we can monitor our temperatures throughout the cook. We'll do that the thickest part. There's one, there's my white probe, the green one in. That's the thickest part over here. And you know what? Just for fun, Because I'm not quite done my probe tests yet, let's throw this fireboard one in too, just to see if it agrees. Alright, so we got all the probes in. Gonna close her up. Now, I'm gonna spritz occasionally. Usually I wait for the first couple hours for the rub to get set on the surface. So after about 2 hours, you won't see me doing it, but then after every hour after that, I'll probably give her a little spritz, keep the moisture on the surface. Like I said, I got her set at 225. I got some old mongrel pellets in there that I'm just trying to burn off, so nothing too fancy, but it should get a nice smoke on it. So I'll see you when it's time to wrap these bad boys. Lost Canuck out. All right, well, Lost Canuck here, and it is, the internal temperature has hit 158, so almost 160. By the time I get it inside the wrap, it'll be 160. I've been spritzing every once in a while. The bark looks pretty good. Let's take a look at our rolls. Wow, that bark looks amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull these off into the pan, bring it inside, wrap them, put some tallow on them, and bring them back out to the pit. I'm going to need both hands to do it, and my videographer's gone. All right, well, Lost Canuck here. We're inside the barbecue lab. We've got our Miami rolls taken off the smoker, and I'm going to wrap them with some tallow. So let's get some gloves on, and we'll individually wrap them. All right, so I like to spray, I use this Wagyu beef tallow spray, and I like to spray a little bit of tallow just on the bottom, and we're going to scoop some of the ready-made tallow here. I use South Chicago, and if you like this stuff, it's check out my links below. All right. So we're going to put some on the bottom of each one. Not a whole lot. I'm not sure if you can see this, but there, that's probably plenty for the one. All right, I'm going to take it, put the bottom onto the tallow. Remember, the internals I've hit about 160. We've been on the spoke for quite a long time. Now we're going to put some on the top of each one. Just a little tallow. I don't know if you can see that, if I'm probably in the way. Let's wrap this one up. All right, so there's one wrapped up, and we'll put it back in the pan. Okay, let's do the other one. I'm getting low on tallow, so I'm either going to have to trim some briskets or order more. So I've turned the temperature up to 275. We'll finish them like that. Okay, so they're both wrapped. Let's get these back out to the smoker. I'll see you back out at the pit. I'm going to throw these back on the smoker, and we're going to cruise them up to about 200, 203, and then pull them off and slice them and see what they look like. See how. All right, well, we're back outside at the pit. We wrapped our brisket rolls up with some tallow. I set her up to 275, overshot a little bit. It's coming back down. So let's throw these back onto the smoker, and then our next step will be pulling them off when the internals get up to about 200, 203. We'll let them rest, and then we'll slice into them. All right, well, we got our wrapped briskets back on, just right in the middle, top shelf. Got the Lone Star running. It's dropping fast because I've got the door open. But let's get this thing closed up. Like I say, we'll pull them off when it's time to grab them, and then we'll let them rest. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck here. Well, it's been on the smoker for coming up 13 hours, and it's hit internals. It's sitting at about 202. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it off, put it in my warming oven, and leave it there overnight, and we'll enjoy it tomorrow. Okay, Lost Canuck here. Well, we're gonna put the brisket into my warming oven. Okay, so we're gonna let this rest overnight, and we'll see it in the morning. All done. 150, and we're in the warming oven, and we'll see you tomorrow when it's time to cut these and eat them. All right, well, Lost Canuck here. It's the next day after I put the brisket in the warming oven. It's been holding overnight and during the day. And, well, as you can see here, I have to unwrap these things, and we'll cut into them and see how they turned out. So, let's grab one. Grab it by chance, because I don't know which is which. I'll unwrap these and slice into it. Ooh, it's pretty good. Alright. This looks like it's the fat side in. Find out in a minute. Pull these probes out so I don't cut. Oh, hot. So I don't cut into them. You can see the butcher. There's 3 bands of butcher twine here. So I'm going to just cut next. I'm going to cut it right down the middle. See what it looks like. Bark is very nice. It smells smoky. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Yep, this was the fat on the inside. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a very nice smoke ring all the way around. Yep. And the fat's nicely, oh, that's nice and soft and juicy. It's very juicy. Yeah, I don't want to squeeze it, but the juice is running out of here. Same with this one. Okay, so this is the one I requested, fat side in. And let's take a slice off of this and give her a little taste test. See if it's any good. Alright. See what we got. Well, you can see it's nice and floppy. It's very well cooked. It's falling apart. Get a pull on that, it's nothing. So let's take a piece. I can taste in the bark, the smoke, the rubs coming through a little bit. Very yummy. I'm gonna get my videographer's opinion here. Very yummy. It's very juicy. Very juicy. Okay, so that was, let me close that up. So that was fat side in. Give a couple pieces over here. I'm gonna eat this last one. It's so yummy. Okay, let's unwrap the. Now this is the one they normally sell over at Hagberg. So Billy, if you're watching, take a look. Oh, this is really tender. We'll spin it around. It's hot. And I've been holding these briskets at 150 Fahrenheit overnight. Pull our temperature probes out. Okay, again, 3 butcher twine bands. This is fat side out. It's you could push your finger right through this. I don't know if you can see that, how soft it is, but it's super soft. Now this was more crusty, the bark on the outside. So let's well, we just got a new puppy, so if you can hear that, that's Otis. Otis, hang on a second. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what we got here. All right, so this is the regular way they do it, Miami roll. Little bit of smoke ring here, just where there was some meat showing through, but I like to see. I like the fat on the inside with the smoke ring on the outside like that. But hey, each person has their own preference. Okay, it's a good idea. Let's so you can tell. Okay, so this one on your right, my left, this is the one with the fat in, and you can see the smoke ring all the way around. You see that? Okay, now this one, this is only where the some of the, so you can see there's fat around here because it was fat out, so not much of a smoke ring, and not as juicy, I don't think, either. This one, tons of juice on the inside, but this one here, well, let's test it. Let's taste it. You know, myself and the videographer will take a piece. So this came from this one, and this one came from this one. I just want to get them mixed up. Okay, so here is the fat out. There's a piece for the videographer. There's a piece for me. Not bad. Pretty good. I would say, in my opinion, I like it with the fat in because it just kept everything more moist, more juicy. This, not bad. Yeah, this one's a little drier on the middle and the inside. The outside of the bark's very nice. So, it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good. So, I'd just like to say thank you to Hagberg's Country Market over in Lake Elmo. Thank you, Billy, for affording me the opportunity to try these two different styles of Miami roll brisket. It's basically a brisket flat, like I explained before. My personal choice is I like it with the fat rolled in because you can see it's the juice is still running out of here, so it's a much juicier cut. Not bad. Your fat's on the outside, so but it's more dry on the inside. I mean, it's still very tender, very yummy. So there you have it. I'm going to just do one more test piece. It's very good. So don't forget, please follow me on Instagram. I think I'm up to about 200 followers now. I'm going to put the QR code right here. So if you don't mind, give me a little follow. Helps out. Everything helps out a little bit. And if you stuck around this long, thanks for watching the video. I very much appreciate it. I know that maybe you can't tell, but it helps me. It helps the channel. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I answer all of my comments. If you liked how I cooked this, and it's so tasty, I can hardly wait to dig into this in a few minutes. Again, you just ask your butcher, hey, if you got any flats laying around, roll them with the fat inside, and you can cook it just like a roast on your smoker. Now, I cooked this one. This was a 13-hour cook, and then I held it overnight. But so it's not an overnight cook. It's not a tough cook at all. And hey, if you liked anything that I used in the video, like I love my Shun slicing knife. It's awesome. Any of the probes here, the RFX probes. I've got my Fireboard probe here. Very good system. Anyways, if you like cutting board, gloves, whatever. Look, if you guys are just getting started, or if you're new to the channel and you need some help, take a look at some of the things I have down below in the links, and you can purchase them from Amazon. All right, well, we're at the end, so don't forget, be kind to each other. And don't forget to watch some of these videos over here, some more of my content. That also helps me. Here at the end screen. Okay, Lost Canuck out.